Hello. God, I'm continuing to read the Offshore Pirates by F. Scott Fitzgerald in his collection Flappers and Philosophers, and there's definitely a thing of I'm reading this out loud, and it does a thing because it's like, oh, there's some more racist language. Oh, I'm reading it out loud. Am I going to use the racist language? There is the shortening of raccoon, using the C word, which I got interrupted actually in my reading. I had to go and do something, pick someone up, and I came back and I started to read that. And the first time I said the word, and I was like, do I want to do this? I mean, I can understand if you're somebody who's producing the audiobook to this, you should have fidelity to the text, and you should, probably, if you're going to read that out loud. I am just doing this for my own kind of personal education of trying to be a better reader, both on a reading out loud way, but also just as another way of kind of taking in text. And so it's interesting because reading it out loud, you really, like, do I have to say this word out loud? And I stopped and I decided, no, I don't. So I went back, restarted that 4B section, and instead of saying the word, I just said C. In that way that, like expurgated stuff, they'll just put C and then like a dash. Which, because nobody needs me on the internet saying that word. As and and that can change. This is just me reacting to it now. There may be other words in there. I know that an author, black author, did a book that was marketed as the Book of Negroes in Canada, and that was acceptable. That was not acceptable in the States. That was considered a slur in the States, and I don't know what the actual what the view on the word is in Canada now, and specifically of the people who that word might be referring to, and that word gets used in this book as well. That's actually probably one of the later ones that gets used in this thing. So it's good though, because it definitely highlights where you can feel how this story is so, it's steeped in a kind of an assumed racism that I'm not entirely convinced that Fitzgerald himself is particularly aware of, or he is just depicting it accurately. That's one of those things. But in this section, Babe, who of all the characters there, everybody, Ardita and Curtis are both, they're white characters, and they're speaking. Their language is not phonetically rendered, whereas of course, but Babe's language is. So it's like, yes, for sure, and kind of, well, I don't know if he says that particularly, but that kind of a thing, where if you're reading it, that's what it is. Which I can see, if you're enthusiastic reader, you might, really get into saying that. I think I had that with one of the Voyage to Mars novel, where there was a character from Maori. I can't remember, but it was very much phonetically kind of said, this is a way of marking and othering this character, of whereas everyone else gets to speak straight English, including the Martians, who you would assume are not actually be able to speak English, but for some reason, of course, do. I think it's a translator thing. So yeah, there's that. But yes, Babe is the one who takes them to this island and has this getaway spot. And indeed, Babe is also the guy who's had all the sailing experience, and he's the one who's organized it this way. It's like Curtis. It's one of these things of Curtis is only the leader of this thing because he's the white guy, and you could run an alternative narrative here where there's all these black guys who are going like, yeah, you're the leader, Curtis. Yeah, we're gonna put you forward as the leader, and we'll wait on you. But it's all of us who are actually in control. Babe is the actual leader. But you really assume, you get the thing of like, nope, he's the white guy, so he's in charge, and that's, I think, is really, they get waited upon. They get to have the whole yacht experience, while everybody else is just super happy to be the servants because they're black. So yeah, it's interesting reading it out loud because it really makes you confront that kind of language and say, okay, not only am I just passively reading this, I'm reading this out loud. Am I somehow taking ownership of the horribly racist language in this story? So it's challenging, and it's a good uncomfortableness to hold on to and to remember when you're going to talk about a story like The Offshore Pirates by F. Scott Fitzgerald, which, I think I'll probably add a little short story section. Seems to be my thing now for my Sunday reads, and I'll definitely be talking about The Offshore Pirates. Yeah, all right. I will leave it there. More videos later.